Okay, a toy car rolls at a constant speed. Okay, so constant speed right there. I know that constant is balanced because I know that balanced causes no change in the motion of an object. And by motion, we mean speed. We also mean direction. So, constant speed down a straight inclined track. What is an inclined track? Well, an inclined track is just the fancy word of saying a ramp. So it's going down a ramp, so a straight ramp like that. When the car reaches the flat surface at the base, that's base is at the bottom, this flat surface right here, the speed of the car decreases. So it's going down here at a constant speed that would be balanced. And when it reaches the bottom, it decreases speed. So it slows down. So that right there tells me that that is a change in its speed. Anytime you see this word change right here, you need to think of one word, and that is unbalanced force. So, now let's read the question. Which statement best explains why the speed of the car decreases? Okay, so that's what we've said. When it reaches the flat surface. So, the force of gravity acting on the car increases, and B, the force of gravity acting on the car decreases. Guys, this right here, gravity is constant. It does not change. Does not change ever on Earth. Unless you were to get off of Earth and go to the moon or go to Jupiter, then gravity will increase or decrease. But gravity doesn't change just because you're at the bottom of a hill or at the top of the hill. So those are incorrect answers. C, the forces influencing the car are not balanced. I like that. And the forces influencing the car are balanced. Well, if they were balanced, it would remain at constant speed, and it did not. It slowed down. So over here it slows. The correct answer is going to be C. Number 2, in the picture above, the boy is trying to pull a dog on a leash. Okay, he's trying to pull a dog on a leash, but the dog and the boy are moving in the same direction. So I see this right here. It says direction of movement. So already, if they're moving in that direction, then I know that this guy is stronger. And if they're moving and he's trying to pull back, then already it's due to an unbalanced force. But the dog and the boy are moving in the same direction. Which of the following best describes the forces in this situation? So I know it's not very likely that this would happen, but obviously the boy is trying to pull this way, and this must be a very strong dog, and it's going this way, and this one is going to be a longer arrow because it's stronger, because it's moving in that direction. Are the forces balanced and the net force is 0? Well, if it was 0, then it's not 0 because they're moving. And it doesn't say that it's moving at a balance, at a constant speed, so we can't assume that. The forces are unbalanced and the forces are greater. So I do think that because he's trying to pull in one direction, the boy is trying to pull in one direction and the dog is in the other, if I just kind of randomly put some forces in here, maybe he's pulling back with the 10 newtons, and the dog is pulling back with pulling forward for 20 newtons. So already I can tell that that is an unbalanced force. These forces are definitely not balanced. So now we have to decide, these forces are definitely not balanced here. They are unbalanced. We have to decide whether it's the boy's force or the dog's force is better. Well, because they are moving in the direction of the dog's force is going to be greater. So the answer is C. Number 3, calculate the net force. We know that if it is in the same direction like this, we need to add these together. 150 plus 95 is 245 in this direction. Over here we've got 140 and 105 and also 245 in the opposite direction. So we know that opposites subtract. 245 minus 245 is 0. 0 is a balanced force. The only thing it's 0 is balanced force. So it's not moving to the left, it's not moving to the right. So we have not moving, not moving. That's correct. And the net force is 0, not 490. And C is our answer. Number 4, calculate the net force acting on the rubber ducky. This should be going in the downward direction here. So what we do is we go like this. This is one, and this over here is another. So you're going to have two different answers. So let's go start with up and down first. 75 up, 60 down, so that means that we need to subtract. And that is going to be 15 in the upward direction because 75 is the bigger force. And then the next one is going to be 25. These are going in opposite directions. And I like my students to put a big R because it's going towards the right and an L because it's going towards the left. If these are not correct, then these are not the same letters, then we need to subtract. And we've got 20 newtons. In this case, it would be to the left because that is a larger force. So that makes A correct. All of these others are incorrect. Number 5, two teams competing in a game of tug of war in the diagram below. Both teams are pulling with the force of 23 newtons, so I've got 23 newtons on each side. What will happen if the team on the left, these guys over here, make an extra effort and pulls it with a force of 2330? So if I've got 2330 instead, well, what's going to happen is that these are going to start shifting this way to the left side, and it is going to then be unbalanced by a force of about 30 newtons. So the team on the left will be able to pull the other team to the left. I like that at a constant speed. Okay, that's kind of important. Constant speed, no, because this would mean that constant speed means balance, and this is unbalanced, so that's wrong. Team on the right would be able to pull. No, that is just wrong all the way around. The team on the left will be able to pull the other team to the left at an increasing speed. Definitely increasing speed. I like this because an increasing speed shows an unbalanced force. And the team on the right would be able to, no, I'm not even going to go there. C is the correct answer. Number 6, the student pushes a box with a force of 16 newtons to the left. So that's where this one is. To the left, it's going to the left side. Another student pushes the same box on the opposite side with a force of 8 to the right. According to the information above and the diagram, what will be the result? Well, I'm not even going to go through that yet. Already, I know that these are going in opposite directions, so I need to subtract these numbers. So I've got 16 minus 8. It's going to be 8 newtons in what direction? It's the larger force, to the left. So the box will move to the right, no. Right, no. Left with the force of 2, no. Left with the force of 8. Absolutely. J is my correct answer. Number 7, two students working together to build a birdhouse. Student 1 applies a force of 10 newtons to a wooden board. Okay, so the wooden board, this must be student 1. Because they've got the little board here. In order to slide it across the table to student 2, your student 2. If the force of friction resisting the student's push is 4. Okay, so guys, we know that friction resists motion, okay, resists a push. So what does resist mean? It means to work against. So does that sound like addition, adding, or subtracting? Friction always works against, which means that it makes it harder. Think about you sliding across ice or you sliding on the street, okay? The street has more friction, so therefore it slows you down a lot quicker than ice. So this the friction is going to be 4, so it's going to be the net force. We started with 10 minus 4, which was the friction, which would give us a total net force of 6 newtons here. Number 8, a student used a video camera to record another student dropping a marble through water in a graduated cylinder. Graduated cylinder we use to show volume. The students watched the video in slow motion and made the observations shown below. Okay, observations shown below. So we've got this marble, which is this little glass ball that is being dropped. And it shows us right here, this area right here between 1, the speed increases. And usually things that fall, the speed increases. So I know speed increases. That's a change in speed. So already I know that is an unbalanced force. Now, it hits the water here and the speed decreases. So again, it's a change in speed. That is an unbalanced force. And then here at the very bottom, that speed remains constant, which means that it stays the same until it reaches the bottom, I'm sure, which would be, if it's constant, it would be balanced. So, during which part or parts of the marble's fall did the marble experience unbalanced forces? Well, we know it's not just one, because 1 and 2, I like that one. Part 3, that's balanced. Parts 2 and 3, that's both. So we're looking for unbalanced forces, so it's going to be parts 1 and 2. Number 9, the diagram below shows a sled moving along a smooth, frictionless track. So the fact that it's frictionless means it won't slow down on flat surfaces. All right, so by looking at this, whatever speed this is going at right here, it's going to remain at that same speed. So this is going to be a constant speed right here, which means that it is balanced. Now, going over here through section 2, what happens when things go downhill? They become faster. Faster is a change in speed, so that would be considered unbalanced. Unbalanced here because it is a change in speed if you go faster. Now then, at the bottom of section 3 down here, we're on a frictionless track again, so whatever speed that it hits it at, it's going to remain at that constant speed. So again, that is going to be balanced until it starts to go uphill. And at an uphill area, we know that things slow down, which that is a change in speed, so it would be considered unbalanced because it changes speed. Notice how every time we see that word change, that means it's unbalanced. If it doesn't change, which is constant, it would be balanced. In which sections of the track will the sled experience an unbalanced force? Well, that's going to be our section 2 here and our section 4 where it either gets faster or slower. So here we've got both. 2 and 3 are both. 2 and 4 is both unbalanced, and 3 and 4 is both as well. C is my answer. All right, number 10, last one. 2 students play a game of tug of war. Jack pulls east. Well, we know that we've got north, east, south, west. So here's Jack. He's pulling east in this direction with a force of 82 newtons, while Tony pulls west. Here's Tony with a force of 96 newtons. Well, we've all played tug of war. Tony's pulling this way. Jack is pulling this way. Those are opposite, so we need to do subtraction. Always put the big number on top. 6 minus 2 is 4. We've got a net force of 14 newtons. Which way is it going to go? Well, Tony's got a stronger force, so it's going to go this direction, left, which is west. Our correct answer is C.